My button hit live before I was ready, but I'm like, fuck it. I'm born. My button hit live before I was ready, but I'm like, fuck it. I'm born ready. And my phone's about to die. But still, happy Monday. Hooray. I woke up this morning thinking about our mood as like the speed of our car. So I learned to drive in a manual transmission. That's the one with the stick shift, And I I love that when I was first learning, when you're first getting the car moving, your first gear, you're only going to go to like 5 or 8 miles an hour, and then you have to switch to the second gear, which can only go about like 12 or 16 miles an hour before it's like, and then in third gear, you can go about 25, maybe almost 30, you know? And it kind of had me thinking this morning about how how we are able to tend to our moods and let them be the gear that we are driving in, the speed that we are moving in. Same as like a 10-speed bike. When you change the speed for the incline or not, it's the same. When your mood, okay, whatever mood you're in, that's the speed that your bicycle or your human vessel or your manifestations are moving. Like you, as the hub for all of your creations, cannot manifest something that you aren't aligned to. Like, have you seen people like running alongside of a train because they're trying to jump on that shit? Well, you have to run quickly before you get the jump. So you're up to speed. You want to be up to speed with what you're creating. A lot of times for myself, when I was first understanding manifestation, I felt like, okay, so I think it and I get it. But the vibration of where I am now is what's manifested. Where I'm going is what I want to unfold. So my work is, how do I help my body and my emotions, my feeling self, believe that that's already mine so that it can just smash into this timeline? It seems a lot more complicated than that, and it's not. So if I want to experience, success and joy and magnetism, I'm not going to stay in second gear. That would not get me there. Second gear is like just awake and not very happy. And then if you think about third gear, that's like meh. Fourth gear, now you're getting somewhere. And fifth gear, yeah. So we're able to do this with ourselves, within our energy. And the best way that we can do this is by checking in with ourselves all throughout the day. A lot of times in the beginning when I'm working with someone, I say like morning, afternoon, and evening. And then when it gets a little faster, I'm saying, set an alarm on your phone for every 2 or 3 hours to just check back in with me. And then every time you enter and exit a segment, check in with me. But as you get used to doing this comes more and more easy. In the beginning, you won't understand segment the same way that you can understand morning, afternoon, and evening. It isn't until you start noticing that every time I switch my seat, I may have begun another segment. That can be overwhelming in the beginning. So give yourself a frame, and as you get better, filling in the puzzle pieces, put in more parts. As you get better at tending to your energy morning, afternoon, and night, toss in a couple in the alarm. Set an alarm for mid-afternoon, mid-morning, mid-evening, and then start noticing and realizing every time I leave a room, a new segment begins. Every time someone else comes into a room, a new segment begins. When I get out of my car, a new segment begins. When I get into my car, a new segment begins. When I walk out of this building, a new segment begins. When I cross the street and see that person, a new segment begins. It's a lot of segments, guys. It's like, and they're all sort of spinning and weaving into each other. And you, as the vessel, as the hub, as the creator, gets to hold a vibration. And if you can hold it through all of that, you'll see your desire come through. You'll see what you're manifesting come out. However, if you're in the middle of a situation and you want this, but that looks like meh, and you're just like, it's not going to feel like it makes any sense. It's going to feel like no rhyme or reason. As the hub, if you decide yes, yes it is. If you decide no, no it is. And if you decide you don't know, ew. Everybody understands what in limbo, not sure, uncertainty feels like. It's annoying. If nothing else in the beginning, I realized that there are times when something has gone too far in my head and in the experience, it's just done. Nothing let's not be so silly. Nothing in my human capability right now is going to change this. So I'm just going to let it go, And then once you start learning into that, you can say, hold on. I feel like I'm moving all of myself and my energy in a way that I don't like. So I'm just going to give myself a moment and stop thinking about this until I can think better about it for myself. Depending on where you are in the game, where you are on the board, you decide, what speed am I at? How can I move? How can I think? How can I feel better for myself? And knowing that my body's mood, my mind's mood, my emotional well-being is the speed at which my vessel is traveling. It's the way that my manifestations are unfolding. If I feel sad and upset, there's probably a very good reason for that. And this work is never to spiritually bypass. This is bring awareness. My heart and human is sad. How do I make her happier? Because I love her, because she's mine to take care of. And the thing about manifesting is we're going to do it all the time anyway. Like hearts be beating, sun comes up and waves crash. That will happen. The play in this game, my teacher taught me, and it took a minute to get there. The play in this game is to know that this feeling human gets to spit out life for me. And I know that if I can infuse, and remind her of what she feels like, I get to have a little bit of control over what unfolds for her, for me, for us. The play is not to do it because of the creation. We're doing it for the feeling emotion. We're doing it because right now this feels good. This idea, this emotion, this memory, this daydream, this fantasy feels good. That's all. Not because you're worthy, not because you've gone to school, not because Jill said so. It feels good, period. Leaning into your personal authenticity and audacity is where you start making that electricity. It's like when you're flicking a lighter and it's like, pss, pss, pss. When you're touching those parts, you're almost on fire in the best of ways. So just keep going. Play with learning your mood. Set reminders on your phone. Write notes. When you get into this room, check on yourself. How do I check on myself? I look in the mirror and it's how are you feeling? Do you need anything? What can I do for you? And sometimes it will be silly things that girl's really pissing me off. And so, hey, good morning. So that girl's really pissing me off and I'm not going to get out of my character, but damn. So maybe I'll go in the bathroom and I'll do some air karate at her just to chop her energy down a little bit because I want to feel good. And when I do silly shit like that, my inner child feels known, she feels included, and it helps soothe everything. When the inner child and the shadow are not happy, that's what it feels like. So you need to know all of your parts so all of your own personal ducks can be in a row. And when you're first learning all of this about your energy wellness, there is nothing in your life, not money, not job, not body, not lovers, not children, not homes, not cars, not success, not spirituality that isn't connected to your emotional body. Every single thing that you are involved with has a tie to your emotional body and your belief system. Wonderful. Am I following you? Because if not, I will follow you. And then I will be your next one. I did it. I pushed the button. So this is it. It's like, I remember when I first started to learn to drive, it felt really crazy to get myself in the car and I'm putting my buckle on and I'm checking the mirrors and everything's feels very serious. I'm doing a big dang deal. Now I get in the car, I just get in and I know where everything is and I'm do. Just as easy and as nothing. And in the beginning of learning your own energy, it feels a little weird. What am I doing? Am I really asking myself how I feel? I know how I feel. No, you don't know how you feel, or you wouldn't be talking shit. You and your ego, you'll talk to yourself. You will think well for yourself. You'll say nice things to yourself. You'll let your inner child have her way with the words. You'll let your shadow self give middle fingers in your mind, because that way she doesn't act like a donkey outside. Whatever it takes for you to be a fully emotionally aware and in tune being with you. You being the one. You are the pace. You are the standard. How do I feel? I want to feel the best I can feel. How am I loving? I want to love the best I can love. How am I succeeding? I'm going to succeed more than ever. How am I thriving? I'm going to thrive more than ever before. How am I loving? Blah, blah, blah. More. Like, and in the beginning of this, those words were never mine. Mine was just like, I hate this life. I hate this day. When's it time to sleep? Can I get drunk yet? You know? And that was also the way that it was for me for like a long time. And so it gets to be different. And it all starts with your mind, your mood, your emotions. How do you think and feel about this day? How do you think and feel about this moment? How do you think and feel about this week? You know? For me, I know that this is going to be a week where I get clarity. I've been asking into the universe for signs. I'm using rabbit or a rock. Universe, show me a rabbit or a rock. Is it a rabbit? It's time to go, or am I staying still like a rock? The fact that I haven't got an answer yet is not my favorite. But you know what? I got all the time in the world, because I'm right on time with me. I'm in the right place at the right time doing the best thing for me. My time is my personal experience. Even though we all collectively share this Eastern Standard Time, if you're in my world, it's 7:56 over here. But in Nancy Land, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be on the clock, on the calendar. I am everywhere in the right position. I am pointing to go, and I am perfectly aligned. My best time is now. You know, not because of somebody else's schedule, somebody else's ideas. I get to hear my soul stream through my brain, through my intuition, through my synchronicities, through my feelings, just like you can. I don't need another human to translate my invisible self, my emotions. I can feel when I'm happy, and I can feel when I'm sad. I can feel when I want to punch you in the face. Thank you for the follow. You know, like, I don't need somebody to tell me that. And in the beginning, I felt like I did. It was always like, I don't know. I was so insecure about everything. I wanted the fucking tuna. I wanted it on honey wheat, and I don't want cheese. Why am I asking Teresa? What is wrong? And I just felt like that's how everything was. I needed to ask everybody permission for everything. I had zero faith in my own ability to just decide what I wanted for myself, even on my dumbass tuna sandwich. So let yourself take control of yourself, starting with your emotional body. Think and feel on purpose. Notice how you feel in the morning and start trying your best. Trying is not my favorite word. That was my first direction from my teacher. Stop saying trying. We do. Start making it more of an effort to feel good on purpose. Set timers. Write notes around your house. Leave a sticker on the mirror, a sticker at the bedstand, a sticker at your coffee spot. Hey girl, I feel good. I love you. I like your face on your butt. Write notes to yourself. You know, set booby traps around the house. I had to share a whole live where we can set reminders. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm a work-at-home mom. I've been doing this for 1,000 fucking years. My kids are 14 years old. I've been doing this forever. So in the beginning, when I first started learning this, I felt like I had the most upside-down experience. It was like, oh my God, moms have it harder than anybody else in the whole world. How are we supposed to be raising the future and dying at the same time? I'm a dramatic Libra. It's like what we specialize in. It did feel that way though. It's like I was erasing myself every single day, and I could do nothing about it. I felt so stuck, so upside down. I had no money. I had no help. And I felt like there isn't a person in this world who has got it harder than a mom. And then it got to be where, okay, if I'm the one that's in charge here, I'm the one taking care of all these things. I got to take care of the house, the babies, the foods, and my business. I had a daycare business, which just compiled all the things that I didn't enjoy doing a lot more. But it was the way that I knew that I would be able to take care of my children. I knew that I would be able to bring myself some sort of financial income. And so it was what I was going to do. It was the plan. Even though it didn't feel good, I always knew I wanted to do that. That was always the plan, even though I didn't want to do that. Thanks for the follow. But I know now, and so we did that work for like 6 or 7 years. I met like 4 families, and we stuck together the whole time. Some of these parents that I met during my daycare years, I'm still friends with. Every single one of them I still talk to on a regular basis. You know, like, it's great. It is really great. And I was in my hardest spaces during that time. And it felt like it would never end. If you're a mom and you have a little baby, that's hard. If you're a mom and you got 2 little babies at the same time, you know how hard that can be. It is different. Having one baby, it's like, oh. Having 2 babies, but would I do it all again? Yeah. I'm great. Thank you. Would I do it again and try to soothe myself during the transition? Yeah. Because I know now that it doesn't last forever, but it sure felt that way. It sure felt like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to just take a piss in quiet again. I'm never going to be able to just walk out the door without 65 bags and diapers and bottles, and I'm never just going to be able to go. And that's not true. Kids grow up. And I turned into a different direction. You know, I stopped banging my head against the wall. And I let myself do the work that it took to help me feel better. And it started with learning prenatal yoga. Just gentle movements in my body where no one could see me, and letting myself move through it. I didn't understand that doing certain poses could move energy in my physical body. I didn't understand that. I didn't know why I was crying every time I did cat cow. I had no idea. I thought something was terribly wrong with me, but at that point I was pretty sure lots of things were terribly wrong with me, so it was like, what's one more? But it was really cool because I remember my yoga teacher at the time, Heather, she noticed that I was crying, and she did this sort of like, she let me know that she was seeing me, but she let me just be, you know? I didn't have to wipe, and of course in the beginning I would try to wipe away the tears. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. But it was just like wringing the rag of all the pain and all the hurt, all of the hate that I just kept layering in to me. I kept letting in to me. And then I blamed myself for feeling and suffering for it. And those words didn't come in the beginning. It took a while, but that was my process. We're all different. Some people, like my BFF, she's learned these same concepts that took me years to master in my mind, and she just steps right in half the time. And then I think well, maybe my version of learning this was harder because when I teach it, it's easier for me to teach it that way. I mean, I know I'm neurodivergent. I'm a little autistic in the best of ways. And I know that when I like something, I just like it so much. I eat it and I cover myself in it and I think about it and I listen to it and I smell it and I draw it everywhere. So maybe because of the way that I ingest it and process it, maybe that's why when I share back, people get it so quick. Maybe it's because of all my Swiss cheesing and is this real? Maybe it's all my thorough investigation and trial and error that helps. That would be really cool. I know that either way, I love my part. I love what I get to do. I love to be here. I love being able to use my work that helps keep me healthy and well to also bring financial well-being to my family. I love knowing that when I'm around my friends and I say something that others could find weird, they know that it's something that it's relative. I love sitting here one day wondering, would all my friends like to throw eggs at a portal in the fence? And then I draw the portal, and then my friends absolutely wanted to throw the eggs at the portal in the fence. It gets to get better. It gets to be better. It gets to change, and it can stay the same. And as the hub of your experience, you are the one manifesting this all. It's your book. Your mood is what page you're on, how fast it's going. Where are you in the story, you know? And you can decide when to make it a little different. You can decide when to add a little something, something, and when to close that book and start a whole new chapter altogether. And learning into your emotions, leaning into that. How am I feeling now? How am I feeling now? And in the beginning, yes, it's annoying and tedious. That's why we set alarms and write notes. We're not used to doing that. In fact, I was encouraged to do the opposite. Girl, your problems is your problem. Shut up and get to work. Thanks, Dad. Anyway, have the best, most blessed Monday. Let yourself check in with yourself. Look into your eyes and be like, hey, you need anything? I love you. I love you. You're so cute. Who cares? But don't look at yourself and be mean to yourself. Don't make mistakes and be hard on yourself. Don't feel confused and be mean to you for already being confused. Give yourself grace. Give yourself love. Be good to yourself. Be your most important person to yourself. Know that you are the one that gets to feel and know your invisible self. Nobody else can ever do that. Ever, ever, ever. No matter how close they are to your invisibility, they can never be you for you. That's only your job. And you can also not take it. And every single day that you wake up, you have the opportunity to try again and or decide again. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. So, hallelujah for that. I will see you later, Gators.